Hi, my name's Roger and I'm a chef with UK Harvest Food Rescue and Education Charity, and today we're making a simplified Kedgeree. Right, first things first, to get the ball rolling, first of all we're going to get our eggs on to cook. So my water's come up to the boil, so I'm just gently going to lower them in and I'm going to cook these for 7 minutes. And that should just give them a nice soft boil. Great, so they're in. Set my timer. Lovely. Now I need to crack on with my rice. So I've got some lovely basmati rice here. So I'm going to give this a good old rinse first of all under running water. Just wash off any kind of excess starch. There's sort of white milky kind of liquid running out from the bottom. So just do that until it kind of clears. That should be sufficient. Just knock off the excess water, and then we're going straight into our pot of boiling water. I'm going to bring that back up to the boil and I'm going to cook that for 10 minutes. I'm going to pop a couple of bay leaves in and a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt in there. Right, so that's my two main ingredients underway. Right, so my eggs and rice are on cooking. I'm now progressing on to the next step, which is starting with my onion. So I've peeled it, I've left the root on, still in place. I simply cut through the middle of the root part, and I want to fine dice this. So again, I'm doing vertical cuts down, not cutting right to the end, so that all holds it together. 1 or 2 horizontal cuts, and I'm going for 4, and then again vertical cuts straight the way down. And as you can see, I get a beautiful kind of dice going on there. Right, so that's my onion done. I'm cracking on with my fine dice of my garlic. Right, now on to my chilli. So I'm only going to use half of this chilli. It's a lovely big kind of orange one. So I'm just going to remove the seeds and the inner white. Trim that out. Cut it into some nice long thin strands. And then simply down the other way. Right, so that's my chilli done. I'm now going to grate about half a teaspoon's worth of my fresh ginger. For my spring onions, I'm simply just going to slice these on the angle. So just trim off some of the top outer leaves. I can use those for something else later on, maybe in a salad. But I'm just neatly going to slice these right on the angle, and I'm going to separately pan fry these off and then stir them through the Kedgeree just to add another little dimension to it. Right, again for my spring onions, just a little drop of oil in my very small little frying pan. That's beautifully up to heat, and I'm literally just going to do these for a few seconds, just to colour them up very slightly and retain that crunch. Right, so that's my eggs cooked. I'm simply going to take these over to the sink, drain out the boiling water very carefully, and then just leave them now under cold running water for a minute or two. Beautifully cooked, off with the flame, carefully pick up the pot, straight over to my sink. And I'm just going to drain that through my colander and just leave that to one side while I prepare the other ingredients. Right, so my beautifully boiled eggs, I'm just going to simply roughly chop up, and I'm going to run that through the rice towards the end. Lovely. Right, so the last bit of prep is just to break up this gorgeous hot smoked trout into mouth-sized kind of pieces. So that's very simply done, very simply kind of flaked up. And we're very lucky at UK Harvest to have been given this, but you know, if you want to use like a smoked salmon or any kind of smoked fish, I mean, it classically is made with haddock, but whatever is to hand really for you is the best thing. Right, so now for the exciting bit. I've got my pan on the heat. It's a decent sized kind of frying pan. I'm going to add my 60 or so grams of butter into there. If you don't want to use butter, then by all means use an olive oil or something, but this is kind of done to enrich the whole thing. So get that on, get it up to heat, and then into that I'm now going to add my onions, chili and ginger, and I'm going to cook these for 3 or 4 minutes until the onions are glassy and nice and tender. Oh yes, and by the way, I put my garlic in with my onions. Right, great, so as you can see, my onions got a lovely kind of glassiness. They're really beautifully tender now. So I'm now going to add my medium curry powder into this. So I'm literally going to cook that out for a minute or two, and just that excessive kind of heat on that just helps it release its flavour. Right, so next thing that goes in is my mango chutney. So I'm very simply going to add that and then stir that through. Lovely, just kind of let that melt in. Oh, that's smelling absolutely gorgeous already. Lovely. Now goes my rice. Give that a thorough stir, get that all coloured up together. Right, so now I'm going to add my fish and just give that a good stir through. We'll just pick out any bones that you can see. They should have all gone by now, but we're going to stir that gently through. We don't really want to break this up. That's good. Just going to sprinkle on my chopped eggs. Stir that through very gently. Chopped parsley. Look at those colours, absolutely gorgeous. And then my lightly pan-fried spring onions, and that will add a gorgeous, satisfying little crunch. I'm just going to stir those through very gently just to mix them through. Right, so there we are, our wonderful Kedgeree, and that is just smelling so good. Can't wait. So it just remains for me to bowl some of this up. 2 or 3 spoonfuls. Look at that, that's absolutely wonderful, so colourful. So there we have it, our superb Kedgeree dish using lots of lovely fish and egg in there. It's super nutritious. You know, this used to be a breakfast dish, but I'm having some now. So it just remains for me to try some of this. Oh my word, yeah, that tastes absolutely fantastic. So have a go yourself and share photographs online with UK Harvest. Superb.